Hey guys, what's going on? Zero Mata here, bringing you an updated assault rifle build guide post onslaught update. Couple things to keep in mind. First off, there is no consensus build. There's no OP build. There's none of that. There may be some consensus receivers to use, but for the most part, it's all about playstyle. It's all about what you like to do and what you like to play with. So just keep in mind that maybe my playstyle doesn't really correlate to what you like to use or how you like to play. At the very least, maybe you get a weapon part, or maybe you learn something about building weapons that can kind of contribute to making your own weapon that suits you. And if you get something out of it like that, then I'm happy. So just keep that in mind. First build we have is kind of an update to my favorite build, which in the past was the Silverwood RES6, the ArmCom Elite X3, and the ACP-3 Collapsible. You got some new parts for that. ArmCom Copperhead, which is kind of the consensus silencer to use. It's kind of a hot commodity because if you look at the other silencers that you have kind of available to you, you got the NT4 and you got the Briar XS suppressor. You lose about 3 points of damage for each of those. Copperhead, you don't lose any damage, so it's a high damage silencer. You get the effect of it being a silencer, so you don't really have that much noise coming out of your gun. And ultimately, you get a little bit of recoil benefit as well, compared to the two-step, which is more of a spread-based muzzle, and you lose 1 point of damage on that. Personally speaking, I would prefer the RES6 or the two-step because I don't really like silencers that much, but that's just kind of a personal opinion and a personal choice. Barrel, we got the Rhino 25A, which is the AK barrel. It's a clear upgrade from the X3 Elite. As you can see, you gain pretty much stats in every category from spread and range off of the Rhino compared to the X3 Elite, so that was kind of a clear choice. For magazines, kind of opted for the extended mag, and you'll see why right now. 8.49 run speed for a default mag. Extended mag, you lose 0.05 run speed. That's negligible at best. You lose practically no run speed for an extended magazine, so that's kind of a clear choice for me. Scope, OPRL Reflex 2 Holo. Con Zealotech's also a great choice as well for a bit more zoom. Stock, you went with the ACP-3 Collapsible. It's a spread-based stock. Weapon tags accuracy, and ultimately when you're building a weapon, I personally, especially for the assault rifle, I go damage, then recoil, and then no, damage then accuracy then recoil, sorry. So I always go for damage first, then accuracy, then I go for recoil on most typical guns. There's a couple exceptions, but for the most part that's kind of how I build guns. Always go for damage and then always go for spread, because you can usually control recoil. Recoil is always vertical. Spread's kind of the side to side and the horizontal aspect of how your gun behaves. So that's kind of something you have a little bit more challenge in controlling. So it's best to kind of minimize your spread on a gun in most scenarios. Next build, we just have a max damage build. Pretty straightforward. Opted for the Copperhead, or not the Copperhead, the two-step. Sorry, for less spread. GX3 heavy, max damage barrel. Extended magazine, like I said, you gain literally 10 more bullets and you lose like no run speed on it, so that's kind of a given for me. Scope is preference. ACP-3 Collapsible just for more spread reduction, and then accuracy weapon tag for that as well. Next build is more of a spread based build in comparison to the first and the second build. We have the two-step as well. Like I said, it's kind of the consensus spread muzzle of choice. Barrel, we got the Vulcan Stalker 1T, which is a great low-level barrel. Definitely recommend you guys try this out if you have any low-level builds that you need to use because you're a low-level. Great choice at a low level is the Vulcan Stalker 1T6. Magazine extended. Scope is OPRL Reflex 2 Holo, and then ACP-3 Collapsible. So it's kind of pretty much the same thing as the second build. You just have to change the barrel a little bit. Last build we have is a level 15 and below build, which I always like to put in the build guides. This one is kind of based more on damage. You pretty much have the default muzzle because that's pretty much the highest muzzle, level 15 and below. Barrel, you went with the Rhino for damage as well. Magazine, you went with the extended magazine. Scope is OPRL Reflex 2 Holo scope, and then we went with the Krane cog because it's kind of a nice balance between spread and recoil. Most of the lower level stocks, you kind of take a big hit in one category for the most part. This is also a good choice, the Torex ACP Mod 0. Problem is, you lose some scope in time, so if that's not really a big deal with you, I'd probably prefer the Torex ACP Mod 0. But you really want to, if you want to get the first shot off, I'd probably go with the COG just for that alone. But that's pretty much it for the assault rifle build guide. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks for watching as always, guys. Appreciate it.